Hi everyone, in this video I am going to present Caterpillar. Caterpillar is a business process management system that runs on top of Ethereum and supports the creation of instances of a process model and allows process workers to track the state of process instances and to execute process tasks. The state of each process instance is maintained on the blockchain, and the workflow routing is performed by smart contracts automatically generated by a BPMN2 Solidity compiler. Caterpillar can execute standard BPMN process models, and hence it can interoperate with any standard BPMN editor. In this demo, I will show how to deploy and execute a BPMN process model edited in the Camunda Modeler tool. The model I will use is that of a very simplified Logan application process. The process starts with the user task where a customer files a Logan application. This task has three input parameters of type integer: the monthly revenue, the Logan amount, and the property reference number. The input parameters of the task and their mapping to the global variables of the process are specified in the documentation section of the task. On the other hand, global variables are declared in the documentation section of the process. The initial user task is followed by two service tasks, which invoke external services to appraise the property and assess the loan risk. These tasks are followed by the script task assess eligibility that determine if the loan fulfills the acceptance criteria via a simple solidity expression. If the applicant fulfills the criteria, a message is sent to the manager for a final confirmation, and the applicant receives a message with the loan offer. For using the prototype, just go to the repository, download the application and follow the instructions for install dependencies and run the application. Here on the left, we can see the terminal where the code of Caterpillar is running, but as the example have to interact with the external services, in the right side we are also running the Service Manager application. For starting the instance of the services, we are going to use Postman. Here we make an HTTP POST request to the Service Manager. In the terminals, we can see that the operations are starting. Please take into account that all the operations are running in blockchain, so we have to wait by a little while the transaction is validated and included in the block. And finally, the services are running. These are the addresses, and it's time to deploy the model. In Postman, make an HTTP POST request to Caterpillar core, but here we also have to provide the JSON with the name of the model and also an XML with the information of the process model. This is the Solidity code generated by the compilation tools of Caterpillar, and the compilation was successful. In the terminal of the Service Manager, we can see the information of the smart contracts of the services we are using. Time for creating the first instance of the process. Here, in the HTTP post to the core, we also have to specify the name we gave to the model, example in this case, send. And here the transaction is just starting. We need to wait. And it's done. This is the address of the contract. We are going to copy it, and now we are going to move to the execution panel for visualizing the current status of the process. This is the address. Here we can execute the user task enter loan application in dark green, but first we need to fill in the form the parameters and submit the information to the process instance. Execution of the service and script task is started internally by the engine, so we can check in the terminal what is happening. These are the queries of the execution panel for trying to execute the user task. We have to wait. And now it's done. The user task was executed successfully. This is the information. In the service manager, a request for executing the external services was received. The service tasks were executed and the script task was also executed. So at this point, the other user task for check the confirmation can be executed from the execution panel. Here we are. Click, confirm, save, and we are almost done. While we wait for the validation of the new block, we want to record that the source code and all the information to run and to interact with Caterpillar can be accessed from the repository of the project. Just click on the link below the video. Here we are. Let's go to the terminal. And now the task confirm acceptance was complete. The message accepting the loan was sent. So the execution of the process was successfully finished. With this demo, we wanted to make a simple demonstration about how Caterpillar works. So, this is all for the moment. Thank you for watching.